In 1941, the United States Navy walked into a room and gave two men a problem so ridiculous it almost sounds like a joke. They needed a building. Not just any building. They needed something that 10 untrained soldiers could assemble in a single day using only hand tools. It had to be light enough to load onto a cargo ship, tough enough to survive a hurricane, and cheap enough to manufacture by the thousands. No architect alive had a design that checked all three boxes. Most of them probably laughed when they heard the requirement. But the Navy wasn't joking. World War II was coming, and American troops were going to need shelter fast, anywhere on Earth in any condition. Arctic Alaska, Pacific jungles, North African deserts, whatever they built had to work in all of it. They handed the job to an engineer named Peter de Young and an architect named Otto Brandenburger, both already working on a naval base in Rhode Island at a small coastal point called Quonset, a Narragansett tribal word meaning boundary. That name would matter later. The deadline was 60 days. They delivered. And what came out of that factory would go on to shelter millions of people, survive storms that flattened entire neighborhoods, get used by the US military for the next 8 decades, and eventually be abandoned by the American public for one of the most ridiculous reasons in the history of construction. But we'll get to that. First, here's the part most people never hear. De Young and Brandenburger didn't invent this from nothing. They borrowed it, and the man they borrowed it from was standing in a trench in France during World War I, watching soldiers sleep in mud and deciding that wasn't acceptable. His name was Peter Nissen, a Canadian-American mining engineer serving as a major in the British Royal Engineers on the Western Front in 1916. He needed portable
Powering up to
shelters
150.
for troops
Model
near
is
the
stable.
front lines.
Holding steady. Look
He
at that.
had
No
almost
movement at
no
all.
resources and almost no time. Within a week, he had built his first prototype, a half-cylinder of corrugated steel that 6 men could put together in 4 hours.
Next in
By
line,
September
please.
1916, the Nissen hut was in full production. Over 100,000 were built during World War I alone.
All right, let's get
They
this
worked.
started. Ready
They
when you
held
are.
up.
1, 2,
They
lift.
saved lives.
Perfect
What de Young
fit,
and
yes.
Brandenburger did was take that same brilliant idea and re-engineer it for mass production at a scale Nissen never imagined.
Dinner's almost
Bigger,
ready, dear.
Stronger,
Smells wonderful. I'll
easier
be
to
right
ship,
there.
easier to build. Same genius, scaled up for a bigger war. Over the next 4 years, the American military built more than 170,000
Good to see
of them.
folks settling in.
So
A fresh
what
start
exactly
for everyone.
is this thing? Picture a tin can. Now cut it in half lengthwise and lay it on the ground with the open side facing down. That's a Quonset hut, a half circle of corrugated steel sitting on a flat floor.
I've been
No
walking
corners,
these dusty
no angles,
roads,
no
searching for a
complicated
song
roof
to
joints,
come
no
out.
load-bearing interior walls. The original 1941 model was 16 feet wide and 36 feet long, roughly the size of a large single-car garage. By 1942, the standard model had grown to 20 feet
This model
wide
is
and
perfect for
48
starting a
feet
family.
long.
I've waited for
That
it. We
gave
love
you
it. Where do I
960
sign? Right
square
here.
feet of completely open floor space with not a single support column breaking it up. The kit came with everything.
Gentlemen, these
Curved
diagrams
steel
illustrate the new
ribs for
stud spacing
frame,
and header
corrugated
requirements.
steel sheets for the
The
skin,
system is now closed.
tongue and groove
The new
plywood
code
flooring,
prioritizes
wood
durability
fiber
and
insulation,
efficiency.
doors,
It's time.
windows,
Bring it
even
down.
a chimney. A crew with no training could assemble it in one day using hand tools. The cost in 1941 was around $1,000 for the larger model. Adjusted for today's prices, that's roughly $20,000. The average cost to build a conventional home in America right now is over $428,000. Same square footage, a fraction of the price, and it could survive weather that would flatten a stick frame house. Here is where the real story begins, because the Quonset hut isn't just a cheap building, it's one of the most structurally intelligent buildings ever designed, and the reason goes back not 80 years, but 2,000. The arch. The Romans figured this out. They built aqueducts using arched stone that are still standing today, carrying water through an empire that no longer exists. Medieval builders used the same principle to raise cathedrals that have survived earthquakes, wars, plagues, and centuries of brutal weather. The arch isn't a style choice, It's physics. When weight pushes down on a flat roof, that force travels straight into the walls. If the walls can't hold it, the whole thing comes down. That's why conventional buildings need trusses, rafters, load-bearing walls, and internal supports. They're constantly fighting gravity and constantly needing help doing it. An arch works differently. It takes that same downward force and redirects it along the curve, spreading the load outward and downward across the entire structure. No single point carries all the weight. Every inch of the arch shares the job equally. Try this. Hold a piece of paper flat between your hands and push down on it. It bends immediately. Now curve that same piece of paper into an arch. Push down again. It holds. Same paper, same weight, same pressure, different shape, different result. That's the entire engineering secret behind the Quonset hut. Now add corrugated steel. Those ridges running along the panels add stiffness without adding weight. A flat steel sheet bends easily. A corrugated sheet resists bending while staying flexible. Combine corrugation with the arch shape, and you get a structure that is almost stubbornly difficult to damage. The curved steel shell is the structure. Roof and walls are one continuous piece. There is no joint where the wall meets the roof because there is no wall, there is no roof. There is just the arch. This gives the Quonset hut 3 performance advantages that conventional buildings simply cannot replicate. Wind. A flat wall acts like a sail. Wind hits it, grabs it, and tries to rip the roof off. That's exactly what happens in hurricanes. The joint where the wall meets the roof is always the weakest point, and that's where buildings fail. A curved surface lets wind slide right over it. There's nothing to catch. In wind tunnel tests, arch-style steel buildings have withstood winds exceeding 150 miles per hour. One Quonset hut owner in Florida watched a Category 4 hurricane tear roofs off every house on his street. His hut came through with not a single wrinkle in the panels. Snow. It slides off a curved roof. It cannot pile up the way it does on a flat surface. In Canada and the northern United States, builders choose Quonset arches specifically for this reason. Snow loads that would crush a conventional building simply cannot accumulate. Earthquakes. The structure is lightweight and flexible. When the ground shakes, it absorbs the energy. No rigid corners to snap, no brittle joints to crack, no single point of catastrophic failure. Wind, snow, earthquakes, hurricanes. One building handles all 4. Not because of expensive engineering or space.